and what is the best way to get started so you can realize the true value of containers and ensure reliability? So how do we get started, Ray?
Oh, that's a question. Who's asking? Is that a developer? Is that a product owner? Is that your board? Is that the CTO? I'm not really sure how to answer that one succinctly. Speaking for myself, I find a use case and just start playing with it. I mean, because there are pre-built solutions out there, supported solutions by all of the major database vendors, by really, really robust application open source developers who support and maintain their own containers. You can build on top of those. You can pick up the configuration for your LAMP stack and paste that almost one-to-one into a Docker file, and then push that and play with it. I think I don't have any more specifics about that. You just pick it up and play with it, and suddenly it's second nature. Suddenly everything that you have been doing up until now in a completely uncontrolled local environment or a configuration drifting virtual machine is now immutable and portable, and it speaks for itself very rapidly.
All right, brilliant. Matt?
It's a difficult one. I think I'm going to struggle like Ray did. Look, if you are running an operations team, if you are a CTO, if you're a CIO, and you're sitting there going, "How am I going to get this done?" and you're looking at your department of people, and they're quite happy in programming mainframes and building AX systems, go and hire some graduates. I've got about 180 very clever solutions engineers that help people build multi-cloud data environments. But I hire graduates to really help me with containerized architectures, because this is what they know. This is what they've been brought up with. Some of the VMware guys go, "Yep, I'm on that. I'm all over it. Tell me how that works." Some of them not so keen, right? They kind of like doing VM stuff. So very often going and hiring, some diversity into your organization will pay real dividends.
Excellent, Matt. Andrew?
I think just at the beginning is a good place to start. I think like anything that's new, it can appear daunting. But if you do enough research and read the docs, there is a ton of information out there, more than ever before with such a transformative technology. If you think back to when VMware was out, the amount of content around VMware on the internet in the early 2000s is nowhere near the amount of content that's out there today around Kubernetes and other containerization technologies. So I think it's just about getting started. Don't be afraid of it. You can't really break things in terms of a learning curve. Obviously don't go full into production if you're not comfortable, but I think just generally, ask a lot of questions, read the docs, and there'll be a light bulb moment that it all sort of falls into place. And that's not too far away. It's not a huge mind shift, but certainly I think, to round that out, it's also there is some cultural shift that has to happen. I think you have to be inquisitive. You have to want to understand how some of these things might evolve. And as Matt said, certainly graduates are well positioned. Maybe not necessarily having as much historical baggage in that respect, but certainly in our organisation, we're seeing everyone has come on the journey with us in terms of wanting to understand how to do things better. And I think if you have an organisation that wants to do things better, then you're halfway there. You're halfway there to getting started.